welcome to Help Desk with Joe, show number 128, as we get going into our week. And we're past the new year, past the holidays, got a little bit of a break here for everything, just going to do some snow in wintertime in Spencer, West Virginia, here at the Patch Turned Up Studios. And with me, as always, Justin and Joe.
Morning, guys.
Good morning.
Is this the second show of the year?
Yes, it is.
Listen, the new year just started. I'm not filling in any hard questions that require me to remember days, dates, times, or any details of anything.
Yeah, I had to do some maths. 10 minus 7 would be the third, so I guess we did one on the third.
I'm not doing any math either.
Yeah.
Just so we're all on the same page. There'll be no math,
February?
no remembering of anything. I'm struggling to remember 2023 when I write down my dates. So, there's that.
I don't think I've written anything down yet that requires me to write 2023, so I've not made that mistake yet.
Oh my gosh, we've done a couple payrolls already that I've had to go back through and change, and I've coded some accounts that I had to go back and change. A couple meeting agendas that I had to double check. Like, man, this year's starting off great. I'm on top of it. I can't remember what year it is. Honestly, though, every once in a while, it hits me and I'm like, 2023.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
I mean, you think about like the movie The Space Odyssey 2001, and
Yeah.
all the predictions that they had, and George Orwell's 1984, and here we are in 2023.
Yeah.
Gosh, I'm getting old.
Well, that's like the Jetsons. I saw a meme on Facebook over the weekend of like what the Jetsons had versus where we are, and it's like,
Yeah.
it's not too far off. And it was like they was comparing fate, where they had this picture of George Jetson talking to his boss through a screen. Well, that's FaceTime.
Yep.
And they were showing, there was like 5 or 6 different
Mhm.
comparisons. It's like, yeah, here we are.
Here we are. Can you
Yeah,
believe it? Where's our flying cars at, Joe?
Don't get me started. It's a conspiracy, I tell you, a conspiracy.
I do believe that. I think this is what gets me. Every day I drive an old car, it's 2004 I think, with 230,000 miles on it. I get 30 miles a gallon.
Yeah.
If I go to a lot and I buy a new car right now, I may or may not get 30 miles a gallon.
Exactly.
So 20 years later,
Mhm.
and gas mileage hasn't improved. Come on, big oil.
Oh, but
Help us out.
But go to electric, Dave.
I'd go to electric in a heartbeat if I could make it to and from work in one charge.
That's the problem, though.
Yeah, I mean, I could if I bought like a Tesla or one of the ones that have 200 and some miles.
But still,
Yeah.
well, just like
Yeah, I'd do it, Joe.
but just like GM. Well, look at the GM fiasco,
Yeah.
where they had issues with the batteries, and their fix was don't park it in the garage.
Yeah.
So when it caught on fire, it would just burn down in the driveway, not burn your house down.
Mhm.
Yeah. They'll get all that sorted out, though. I mean, look at the first combustion engines. They
Yeah.
set fire to everything.
Yeah, but why would you spend $40,000 to be the guinea pig?
Yeah, like I said, somebody's got to be the guinea pig on anything. I mean, think of the first cell phone person. They're like,
Sure.
hey, hold this up next to your head. And they're like, time out. This is giving off a lot of radio waves and stuff like that. It's okay. You'll be fine. Somebody, the first one through the wall is always going to get bloody. It's just how it is. But I'm okay. I like new advances. And wait a minute, you're a technology guy. You like advances in technology. Come on, Joe.
Yeah, but when I seen the fallout of it, it's like, you know what? There's
Oh.
something, again, like I said last week, there's some things that technology does not need to advance.
I'm sure some computers caught on fire. Wait a minute, time out. You're saying that we need to stick with the 1880s technology of
No.
internal combustion engines forever?
No, but I'm saying there's a time and place for everything.
Time is now, baby. Let's go. It's
Uh,
2023, the Jetsons. We should be flying. We're behind schedule, Joe.
Exactly. Why are we talking about going from a gasoline to electric vehicle? Why shouldn't we be talking about going from land to air?
Well, they are. I mean, look at, what do you call those things? The little zoomy flies with
The
the
drones.
drones. Look at drones. They can carry people now. Deliver pizza and such.
Yeah.
We're getting there, Joe. Don't you worry, buddy.
Again, we've had this discussion before. How long is one of those drones going to last in West Virginia? Hey, there's an Amazon one. Poof. And,
Right.
hey, look, it's Christmas.
You can't help some of that, but yeah, it's on its way, and I'm excited for it.
Yeah, there's more and more of those electric vehicles. I mean, Ford has a F-150 now that's totally electric, I think.
Actually, I've seen one of those. Yeah.
I mean, don't get me wrong. I think it's all cool as all get out, but just seeing from here we are in rural West Virginia
Mm-hmm.
we are way behind on trying to keep up with that kind of stuff.
Well, yeah. I mean, it gets here like 7 or 8 years later, but it gets here.
The old Apple model.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Take that, Apple.
Welcome to your Tuesday morning. Justin's throwing haymakers already. One for you, Apple.
Yeah.
Who's next? Who wants some? Yeah, it's getting. I'm excited. You know, the future. I felt like there for a while we kind of stalled out on advancing technology, other than online stuff. Now, online stuff, cell phones, they all advanced pretty rapidly there. Here for the last 20 or so years.
Yeah.
But everything else kind of stalled. And that, like I said, how long has cars been getting 30, 40 miles a gallon?
Right.
30, 40 years now. I mean, stalled.
Right.
And it just baffles me. We can send a rocket around the moon in 2023 or 2022, I guess, the end of the year, but we can't improve gas mileage
Right.
on a combustion engine that's 200 and some years old.
Right.
I don't know. And again, do you know why I'm on this kick?
No.
I got gas today.
I was gonna say, did you go to the
15
gas station?
Yeah, I pulled gas. I'm like, man, $45. Jeez.
Yeah.
I'll take a $4 electric charge any day.
Well, no, I was going to say we can actually go down the conspiracy theory route of the guy that actually figured out how to run his car off water.
Do you see that? Australia now has hydrogen cars.
Really?
Yeah, they have two models. I want to say Toyota and somebody else, but they are live in Australia.
I haven't seen that.
Yeah,
Really?
hydrogen cars. They bubble out water out the exhaust and takes 5 minutes to recharge with hydrogen, and you're good to go.
Really?
So now they're working on a network of getting hydrogen available at stations.
That sounds interesting.
Oh yeah, it's crazy good. I don't know what hydrogen costs to fill up with, but
Because they saw the whole Mad Max thing coming years ago. The film sets.
Hey
and they're
guys,
like,
listen. We got to remember Mad Max. Bloody brilliant!
no more gasoline. We gotta get away from that.
Have you guys heard that conspiracy though about the guy that's like back in the 60s or 70s that he figured out how to make a car run off of water?
Mm-mm.
No.
Yeah, it was like getting like crazy miles, like 100 miles a gallon or something. Like you could almost go cross country on a single
Sure.
tank. And he figured it out. Well, the government wanted to see it, wanted to patent or whatever, and they said, well, let's meet at this restaurant. So he sits down, orders food. While he's waiting on it to show up, all of a sudden he takes a bite, runs out of the restaurant, goes, they poisoned me, right there in the parking lot.
No way.
Yeah.
Well, this is what I do know. I was watching the Discovery Channel probably 10 years or so ago,
Mm-hmm.
and they had this thing where a guy was standing in kind of like a desert, he's in Arizona or somewhere, and he had a concave mirror that was directing pointed sunlight, heat, right into this glass bulb at the top of a motor.
Mm-hmm.
And it started, once it got hot, when he turned the mirror to it, and he's all right, we're ready, and watch this. And it heated up I'll say chemicals, but whatever atoms were in that thing. He superheated and immediately started a motor running.
Yeah.
And the guy's like, man, that's awesome. What is this? And he's like, a stimulator motor. And he's like, wow, where's this been? And he goes, oh, it's been buried for 100 years.
Yeah.
So it was developed in like 1890. And then one of the natural resource companies bought the patent, sit on it for 100 years, and it went out. When it got 100 years old,
You're right. It's public domain.
yeah, public domain. So this guy got him out, started up a couple of motors, and was showing people. And he's just like, you gotta be kidding. He's like, no, it got buried for 100 years. So this technology would not come out in public and wouldn't be advanced.
Yeah.
Wow. And and it had it looked like a motorcycle motor just humming, all from just sunlight. And I was like, daggone it. How many patents got bought,
Yeah.
while I'm sitting here getting 30 miles a gallon?
Right.
That could have got me 100 miles a gallon by now.
Right.
If the technological advances had been put out there for the public to advance,
Mm-hmm.
and public money being put into technology doesn't go in those areas if there's nowhere to work.
Exactly.
So it's kind of crazy.
It almost seems like a loophole you shouldn't be able to take advantage of to buy something up in order to suppress it.
That's a tough one though, because think of it in terms like this. Let's assume the three of us develop something. Okay, here we can make a car go 100 miles
Mhm.
on 1 gallon of whatever. a big company comes in, who's the government to say you guys can't sell that?
True.
I mean, because it's our deal.
Yeah.
You know,
It's kind of a double-edged
sorry.
sword.
Yeah, it is. And, you know, I wouldn't want somebody coming in saying, "Hey, this might be your business or your idea, but sorry, it's going to get bought and hidden for 100 years."
Seems like you should
You can't do that.
have to make a good faith effort to develop something that you buy, not shelve it. But
Well, I mean, that's
hard to-
capitalism at its finest.
Yeah.
You know, the same way if Joe came up with a computer part,
Mhm.
that advanced technology, and somebody come in to buy it so it couldn't be put out there, who are we to say, "Sorry, Joe, you don't get the benefit from your idea"?
Yeah.
So it's hard. I agree with Joe. Double-edged sword.
Yep.
Stanley Meyer is that guy's name.
Really? They
Yeah.
got poison?
Yeah, it was 1990. It was in the 90s.
Really?
He figured out how to take a 22-gallon gas tank, fill it with water, and could travel from Los Angeles to New York on a single tank.
Wow. I wonder if that's the technology they're using in Australia. I was looking up Stemler Motors. I don't think I'm spelling it right. Anyway. All right, well, that's our conspiracy theories for the day. Welcome to Conspiracy Theory Tuesday.
Yeah.
Back to our regular programming. So,
Already?
Joe, you got some new...
Already in progress.
The little lull and silence made me realize Justin was not doing his job,
Yeah.
keeping us on track. Although he did throw out an Apple haymaker there.
yeah. So that was worth it.
So back to Apple.
Yeah.
You got an Apple story for us
Yes, I
today.
do.
And it's not a bad one, I think.
Well, it's
All right, never
bad for
mind.
Apple, but not bad for consumers.
Usually the case.
Yeah.
Actually, that's not usually the case. So the consumers get a little break from the Apple mishaps.
Yeah.
Okay.
Well, this is a result of one of their mishaps. So MacBook owners may get paid in settlement over butterfly keyboards, and here's what you should know. So owners of MacBooks with a butterfly keyboard have until March to claim part of a settlement from a class action lawsuit alleging that Apple laptops were defective. The settlement impacts MacBooks with a butterfly keyboard sold between 2015 and 2019, according to a website that created the settlement. The defective keyboards presented issues such as characters repeating unexpectedly, letters or characters not appearing, and or keys feeling sticky or not responding in a consistent manner, reads an excerpt from the website. As part of the settlement, a $50 million fund was created to reimburse customers who owned the faulty MacBooks. So how much can you possibly get out of this? Well, here's the pricing. The amount affected owners receive depends on the type of repairs required for their laptops. Owners who had to replace their keyboards at least 2 times within 4 years of purchase by Apple or an authorized provider could receive up to $395. Owners of one replacement can receive up to $125. Consumers who had to replace the keycaps on the keyboard can get up to $50. So if you're probably asking, well, how do I submit a claim? Well, here's how you do it. You go to the website keyboardsettlement.com and you'll fill out the information on there and get in line for your money. And the deadline is March 6th, so you have a short window here to get your complaint filed and get in line for payment.
All right.
All right. So a
I should-
mishap for Apple, but a gain for consumers that were done wrong.
I should
Exactly.
send this to my sister. It's possible she's affected.
Yeah.
Yeah,
Send it to everybody.
the website is keyboardsettlement.com.
Those poor Apple users pay a lot of extra money.
Yeah, just for that.
And then bam!
Just for a faulty keyboard.
Huh. Yeah. Alright, I can't find my similar motor thing. It's too long ago. It's hard to tell. I don't even know what I was looking for now. Okay, so I happily am not an Apple user.
Me too.
I walk around smiling every day.
Just on that fact alone.
Just on that. Yep. Winning. Hashtag winning. But anyway, so okay. Roll through that one more time. Where they gotta go?
Keyboardsettlement.com.
Keyboardsettlement.com for Apple keyboards.
Yeah.
Butterfly keyboards.
Yes.
Okay. I forgot what the next one is.
What is a
too.
butterfly?
That was just the type of keyboard.
They fan your fingers out, I think, right?
I think so. It was
Or
a
this
type
way
of,
or that way, but
it was a type of keyboard setup that they,
it's supposed to make it easier to type on. I don't know.
Oh, okay.
which obviously it worked out so well.
Yeah. You're welcome.
Yeah.
Blade brilliant.
How'd that work out? Not too good.
All right, next one up, YouTube.
Yeah, so YouTube rolls out a new partner program terms as Shorts revenue sharing begins on February 1st. So YouTube will begin sharing ad revenue with Shorts, its version of TikTok,
Mhm.
creators starting on February 1st, the company revealed on Monday. To prepare for the upcoming change, YouTube is starting to roll out new terms for all creators in the YouTube Partner Program. Creators need to accept the new terms by July 10th to remain in the program. The major change to YouTube's Partner Program will allow creators to earn money from ads that are viewed between the videos and the Shorts feed. Although the new revenue sharing model will replace the YouTube Shorts Fund, the company says it expects the majority of its Shorts Fund recipients to earn more with the new Shorts revenue sharing model. As previously announced, creators can apply to the program if they meet the specific threshold of at least 1,000 subscribers and at least 10 million Shorts views over 90 days.
Wow.
Yeah.
Is that
10 million.
where's that fall? 10 million over 90 days?
But remember, their Shorts are not regular videos, so there's more likely chance of somebody seeing your content.
Mhm.
Okay. Yeah, I just now pulled up YouTube and I'm looking at Shorts here. So, well, I mean, how many views? 10 million?
10 million over 3 months.
Okay, so yeah, this one has 500,000. 97,000, 161,000, 138,000, 41. 1.7. Holy smokes.
Like I say, I'm looking up the one I uploaded.
1.8. 3.7. So it's definitely doable.
Yeah.
Okay. Because I mean, 90 days. That's just one video that has 1.7 million.
Yeah, so there you go.
So if you're new, you're probably not getting that many. Although, you know, this one that's about news, it's 1 million. So they just need 10 of them in 30 days to get 1 million. So that's not bad.
No.
Wait a minute, that's not a short though. Shorts. 3.1 for the biggest jump on an ATV. 5.9 for a Snappy Gilmore drive. Who would have thought 5.9 million for somebody doing that old Happy Gilmore run up and slap at a golf ball?
Yeah.
Heck, Kale could do that. He's done that before, right?
Oh yeah.
With his golf club mishap.
Yep.
And I'm going to say, and how much damage did that cause?
Yeah. It's hard to tell what I haven't seen him do. It's funny. He got his golf clubs out yesterday because he had to move them from one car back into the garage, and he's like, "Yeah, I hit like 5 or 6 with the driver. Heck yeah!" Oh man. Anyway, I tell you though, it was good. On a side note, Justin, we had our college kids come in for winter break.
Uh-huh.
They're so much fun to have around. We have such a good group. We got Trevor, Parker, Logan, of course, is here, and then
Dakota and Sawyer.
Sawyer. Yeah, that group is so much fun. Good group of kids.
Yeah, I forgot they all came in.
Yeah, come in on break.
Get the green room
Yeah.
tip top
Yeah.
shape.
So fun stuff. Fun stuff having them come back in. I'm gonna miss them. Don't tell Trevor I said that.
He might be listening.
Yeah. But anyway, all right. So YouTube,
Yes. Doing good things.
10 million views in 90 days.
Yes.
All right. How many did yours have?
A few hundred. That was over 8
You got
hours.
some work to do, Joe.
I know. I'm wanting to hit that 1,000 mark, but
Well, get out your golf clubs, start swinging around, and see something happen, man. You gotta do something that's gonna go viral.
You gotta fall down really hard or something.
you have to do something dumb, dumber than what I normally do. So. I have to up my
That's the
ante.
shame of it, is you have to do something that people are gonna laugh at and say, "Look at this idiot," in
Yeah.
order to get views. That's what we're viewing now, is how dumb you can be.
I saw a video the other night. It basically summed it up, and it was a guy turned his TV on, and the caption said "TikTok of the '90s," and it was America's Funniest Home Videos. It's like, yeah, that's it.
Oh yeah, you're right.
Like that's the original TikTok.
Huh. That's true. I use YouTube a lot, especially here at work, because I'll put music on in the background and just play YouTube.
You're right.
And because I have a list of songs that goes through. Justin's particular to like the Ramones and the Clash and stuff. He really likes that.
Yeah.
But anyway, so I do play YouTube videos a lot for the music content.
Right.
which is weird because I'm assuming I could do something else that would make more sense, but that's just where I'm at.
Yeah, like Spotify or something like
I have
that.
Spotify.
Yeah, like you know what you're paying a monthly subscription for.
No, I got the free version.
Oh, okay. Then you're good.
I get commercials, and I can't choose songs.
Okay.
It's craziness. Anyway, all right. So YouTube, get out there, make your videos. Go watch Joe's video. Help him out.
Yeah.
Yeah, speaking of shorts, Dave,
Oh,
I've
yeah.
got something for you.
Oh boy.
Public School District in Seattle has filed a lawsuit against the tech giants behind TikTok, Instagram, Facebook, Snapchat to try to hold them accountable for the mental health crisis among youth.
Well, there's something to that. Mark Zuckerberg, this is probably last February, went in front of Congress and said they had zero idea or intention or knowledge of any mental health issues that social media caused, specifically Facebook and Instagram. And then one of his employees leaked it a day later and said, here's emails from 10 years ago that said there's going to be negative effects for kids. And that went through Facebook's management, including Mark Zuckerberg. But I haven't heard anything that's happened since then.
I just kind of went by the wayside.
Yeah, it fills it out.
So
I mean,
J-
I guess it's because the house is so busy getting themselves in order. I tell you what, if you need some good short videos,
Yeah, there
you go.
Bloody brilliant.
Somebody could record some of those meetings that's been going on trying to get the House Speaker aligned. I tell you what, at this point, and this is just my soapbox for the day,
Yep.
our government's struggling. I mean, when you can't elect a Speaker of the House,
We've spent this much time, money, and effort.
we're paying those clowns
Yeah.
to sit there and argue amongst themselves and have 14 votes. I mean, we're literally paying those clowns, and they'll get benefits for the rest of their lives that are exclusive to them.
Right.
No other person in public can get them, and they get paid for life for holding that office. And those clowns do nothing but argue with each other and cause problems.
In other words, it's like, you know what? We really don't have a lot on our to-do list to get done. So let's just go sit and argue for a couple of days, make it look like we're really doing something.
It's not even that. I mean, if they actually were arguing about something worthwhile, it'd be one thing.
Well, that's what I'm saying. Is like they
They
think
had
that
a fist fight. They had Matt Getz was trying to get in a fight with some other guy
yeah.
on the floor over trying to get a House
Yeah,
Speaker elected.
That's how it used to be
it's
in
just
the
crazy.
old days. Yeah.
Well, I mean, I agree with you, Joe. If they were arguing over like how to stop climate change or how to make gas prices lower or how to help out with the common consumer, do anything, to make our lives better, do
Right.
one thing.
Right.
But those clowns are just getting paid to sit there and argue amongst themselves over something dumb.
Yeah. So back to Justin's story. I've got a question because Justin and I we talked about this before the show.
Yeah.
Is it really the school's place to be doing that, to file a lawsuit, or shouldn't this go back to parents monitoring their child's activity online?
Their legal argument is that all the harm this is causing, they are having to pay for hire more counselors, put in more work into addressing the issues that these companies are causing for their students. That's their argument.
Joe, that's an excellent question. But this is, I have an answer.
Okay.
There's nobody else in place to take care of it.
Sure.
We literally give our kids to the school boards for 8 to 10 hours a day, and that's more time than what parents spend with them. I mean, and this is what I've told kids in our Take It From Us meetings, because they're always like, I'm like, where's your community? And they're always like, well, I live at Newton. That's my community. I'm like, how much time do you spend there? You hanging out at Newton a lot, doing something in the community? And there's the obvious. You go to church, Sundays, maybe another day a week. Otherwise, you're at home.
Right.
You're not like hanging out in downtown Newton, which there's not a downtown. That's where I grew up.
Right.
There's a gas station.
I was gonna say the gas station.
Yeah, but people just don't hang out there necessarily. So,
Right.
So where do the teens or kids spend the majority of their day? In school, in front of a teacher. And we rely on teachers to do a lot in those 10 hours. They got to give them an education. They got to worry about their mental health, their behavioral health, their emotional health, their physical health. I mean, a kid shows up all dirty and beat up in an old ragtag clothes. I promise you, there's a teacher somewhere throughout that day that's going to say, hey, let me get you some clothes. Let me help you out.
Yeah.
That's how our teachers are, especially here in Roane County. I mean, we have fantastic teachers. But who else can worry about those things for a kid other than the parents? And this is what I'm going to say about parents. It's very hard. You think if you have two parents, let's just start with two parents. Most likely one of them works out of town.
Yeah.
So Charleston, Parkersburg, that's an hour drive each way. They're spending 2 hours driving.
Right.
You know, that leaves one parent to do whatever. Now, if you're a single parent, this is the boat you're in. You got to work during the day. Then you got to come home, take your kid to whatever activity they're doing. And our kids in Roane County are super active.
Right.
You know, they got patch after school. Right now, it's youth league basketball, it's middle school basketball, wrestling, high school basketball, wrestling. You got band, you got the plays, theater. I mean, our kids are involved in a lot of stuff.
Right.
So they get home 6, 7 at night, a quick meal of some sort, work on any homework or whatever, get them in bed at a responsible time. There's your day. So when does a parent have time to sit down and say, hey, how are you emotionally, physically, behaviorally, and socially doing? That's 4 big things to try to take care of in, you know, a couple hours in the evening, while the parent also has to do bills, chores around the house, take care of whatever animals they have. I mean, you know, around here we're farmers. We all have cattle, horses, goats, sheep, you know, who knows what, pets of some sort. So
Right.
there's always something to do.
But I'm talking about
So it falls to the school. That's what I'm saying. It's the default, because there's no other system in place to take care of those issues other than parents, and it's uphill battle for parents.
well, what I'm saying is the social media time on your phone aspect, where we've talked about where we've had this
Yeah.
discussion before with
Yeah.
like apps like
Mhm.
that slipped my mind right now.
TikTok or
Bark or stuff like that.
Yeah.
That control like how much time
Right,
the kids
right,
spend
right.
online.
right. I agree with you. I just the educational system is a collective body
Right.
that has the ability to see that, where an individual parent sees only their kid. But man, when you get a classroom of 25 kids to 30 kids, 35 at high school level, you can see the trending patterns. Does that make sense?
Yeah.
Whereas, you know, if I go home and I just see my son is, you know, or daughter is doing too much social media or having detrimental effects from it, then I'm just assuming that it's an isolated my issue.
Yeah.
The school can look at it, and that teacher or teachers or a principal can say, wow, this is, you know, school-wide, this is classroom-wide, this is, you know, because then you're talking a sample size that's worth noting a significant difference, which will make it valid.
Right.
You know, a single parent won't necessarily see that. Because, you know, all of us look at our kids and like, oh man, my kid's a knucklehead. I mean, I see that on a daily basis.
Yeah.
You know, take a pic for me and my kids there. You know, my neighbor's kid, I'll say they're a knucklehead for whatever isolated thing.
Yeah.
But I feel it's not fair to the educational system, and I agree wholeheartedly with you. Why is that their burden to bear?
Right.
But, I mean, we ask our teachers in our educational system to do a lot of stuff. They got to feed our kids. They got to take care of our kids. They got to educate our kids. They got to transport our kids. They got to provide extracurriculars for our kids.
Right.
You know, it's a laundry list.
So you think maybe it follows, Dave, seems logical that if they identify something like an app that's causing harm, they should be able to say, hey, we're having to pay for the harm you're causing, you pay us.
Well, I think somebody somewhere has to raise that flag and say, okay, listen, we're seeing detrimental effects to kids. Somebody has to do something. You know, if it's not the education system, who is it?
Right.
Gotcha.
I mean, you might get a nonprofit out there that's, you know, like there's watchdog nonprofits, but, you know, they're not going to know unless they collaborate with the school.
Right.
And it's a shame to say mental health is paramount right now, but the schools are inadequately funded. They're very underfunded to start with.
Yeah. And that's
and
just across the
then,
board
yeah,
in
and
general.
then they're underutilized for their personnel, and then they don't have enough personnel. I mean, here in Roane County, just to give you an idea, I mean, we're short 9 or 10 teachers, warm bodies, and we've already used, you know, our certified teachers, our non-certified teachers, our long-term substitutes, and anybody else we can get to go into a classroom for the day. They just don't have them. I mean, I get calls for the bus drivers, you know, because they don't have enough bus drivers. They don't have enough substitutes.
Yeah.
So 1 or 2 bus drivers get the flu and are out for a day. Those buses just don't run.
Yeah.
I mean, it's unreal. So, you know, it's just where we're at right now. So somebody has to step up to the plate, and I say, yes, Joe, it is a double-edged sword, and it is a tough call, but kudos to the education system for taking on one other burden and trying to help kids. Because, I mean, that's where I feel it is. It's just
Should
trying
be
to
the
help kids.
parents in theory, but in reality, it's not going to happen in
Yeah.
80% of the cases. They're going to allow them to spend as much screen time as they possibly
Yeah,
can.
I mean, if you're a single parent, you go home in the evening, I mean, how much can you possibly take? You know, you're trying to pay your bills, you're trying to work, you're trying to deal with your own mental health. you know, at some point you gotta say, listen, just play on your phone, and I need a half-hour break.
Like, you
Right.
see it even with kids, like young kids, like
Oh yeah.
3 or 4, like go out to dinner. You don't want parents that it's so much easier to give them the tablet than to have to sit there and because the kid just sits and squirms around at dinner
Oh yeah,
and
and
doesn't
gets
know.
bored and screams and
Yeah.
squalls. Hey, I agree with you. I am not for screen time. I am 100% against a kid getting a phone until they're middle school age and they can emotionally deal with it. And I think that's an individual choice, but I still, you know, and I agree with you. And I think kids should be taught, go out to dinner, color, you know, play tic-tac-toe with them, but,
Yeah.
you know, it's hard. It's a hard road to go down if you're going to take that active lifestyle with your child.
It is almost like a magic bullet because it works so
Yeah.
it transfixes them so quickly that
Oh, yeah.
Yeah.
so yeah.
Joe, you have a young child.
Yes.
What's your thoughts? When you go out to dinner, is it hard or easy to keep the tablet out of the hands, or where do you fall?
It's kind of a mixed bag. I mean,
And the reason I'm asking you is because my kids are older now.
right.
So they didn't have tablets available when they were 3, 4, 5, you know.
Right.
It wasn't a thing.
Right.
So I didn't have to deal with that.
Like with Sadie now, because you know, we've all been that age at one point. It's like you're sitting around and you're just bored out of your mind.
Yeah.
But you know, like if we go to a restaurant where they have like little color sheets or whatever, Sadie's good. She'll sit there and entertain herself, and you know, she'll eat and talk and all that and have a good time. But you know, as a parent, it is hard in a restaurant that all they have to do is sit.
Yeah.
And I'll openly admit that's the hardest one. But
Yeah.
but on the flip side of the coin, Sadie's not running around, and that, you know, we've taught her, you know, you stay at your table, you know, you sit, you're not running around aggravating other people and being a nuisance and making a scene.
You're the one that Cena has to keep.
Yeah. Yeah, see, that's
Joe, quit talking to me. Sit in your seat, Joe. They don't want bothered by you.
Yeah. They don't think you're funny.
Joe, your jokes stink.
That's funny.
Yeah. That actually happened, didn't it?
So see, you have been talking to Cena, huh?
Yeah. But yeah, and you know, I agree with you. It's super hard because you go out to dinner with your family. You want to have a conversation with your wife or your husband, and then, you know, if the kid, your child's being a pain in the butt, it's hard. You know.
Well,
you
and
just feel like you can't win.
Right. Well, and what makes it harder is if we're sitting down, you know, have a meal, and people at the table next to us, their kid has a phone.
Yeah.
That's the trigger.
Yeah.
But it's one that's kind of outside our minds. Don't think about it.
Yeah, that's a good point.
And then when they see it, like, hey, well, they.
Yep. I had that conversation. My kids hit middle school, like, everybody's got a phone but us. And I was like, oh, aren't you lucky? They would just look at me and scowl. And I was like, yep.
Yeah.
You're welcome. Dirty dogs, so and so, blah blah blah. But yeah, I don't know. It's tricky. I think we're going to see ramifications, and I see this with Kale at college. We're going to see ramifications of kids not being able to disengage from their phone.
Yeah.
I mean, we literally went up, you know, to visit him, and he was standing there talking to a couple friends, and his friends constantly checked their phones.
Yeah.
You know, and then I engaged in conversation with him just to see, you know, did my own little experiment.
Yeah.
And by golly, we couldn't talk more than 30 seconds without them pulling their phone. Like, they didn't even put their phone in their pocket. They just held it there and would just, you know, blink, 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 blink.
Yeah.
And I was like, can't have a conversation without checking your phone.
Yeah.
You know, it's craziness.
Yeah. Now, I'll admit, we got Santa brought Sadie a Kindle Fire for Christmas.
Ooh, yeah, those are nice.
But if she has the option of using that Kindle Fire or going outside on a warm day, she's out there.
Oh, yeah.
And you're not keeping her in her house, and I'm thankful for that.
My kids had Kindles. They read on them all the time. It was so nice to download books.
And I'm thankful for that, and I hope it doesn't change. And you know, seeing now that's one of our efforts is to make sure it doesn't change.
Yeah.
So you know, it's one of those. Yes, she has it. She has access to it, but she still prefers.
Yeah.
That,
Playing and going wild up and outside. Yeah.
Yeah. There's that separation. She wants, and I'm thankful for that.
Oh yeah. I don't even know how we got going down this road, Justin.
Well, it's a side story that Seattle schools are suing TikTok
Okay. Yeah. So
for
we're
mental health.
Only TikTok?
No, everybody.
Okay, I was
Everybody.
gonna say,
Instagram,
single
everybody.
TikTok.
Yeah.
Surprisingly, we're still on task.
Yeah, okay.
I snuck a story in. I just thought maybe it would get you going a little bit.
Well, it sparked some very good conversation.
Yeah, I mean, that's conversations we like to have, not
I was telling Justin this before the show. My only issue with that situation like that is this one school system's doing it.
yeah.
So
Well, somebody's gotta start the ball rolling.
right, but at that point it almost seems like kind of a publicity stunt kind of deal. Where if they would have, correlated with some other school districts,
Yeah,
if they would have done a little homework on the back end, maybe.
I agree with you that you definitely could build a stronger case
Yeah.
and not make it look so singular.
Right.
But I still think, one school system, everybody's complaining about it. And schools are notorious for this. Everybody will complain. And I'm not saying school, I mean parents, kids, teachers, principals, administrators, superintendents, everybody will complain. But man, it is so hard to get that one person to step up because everybody knows first person through the wall gets bloody.
Right.
It's just how it is.
Right.
And it's like the teacher strike or anything else. It starts out with one and then, then it picks up speed.
Right.
Because, West Virginia took the ball and initiative with the teacher strike and then it spread to other states and, look
Right.
what happened.
But
They're still waiting on their insurance to get sorted out 5-6 years later.
yeah. But
Government.
in situations like this, it's a David versus Goliath situation,
Yeah.
and in the tech companies, it's basically you're sitting there, standing in your front yard screaming, "Stay off my lawn," and nobody cares.
Oh, yeah, yeah.
If you have
Yeah.
more people standing out there in your yard screaming, "Stay off my yard," guess what? They're gonna start listening.
Well, and I think you've had some stories, though, about where some of the technology, social media companies have taken, like, youth preventative measures.
Yeah, TikTok's been the big one to
On
actually.
violence and stuff like that, or
Yeah.
inappropriateness, maybe.
Yeah.
So hopefully that'll spur a little bit more thought. And somebody in the back of the meeting, bloody brilliant! But I don't know. I mean, it's such a tough call because we've accepted it so heartily.
Right.
And it'd be different, but I mean, parents sit there. I don't have TikTok, but constantly talk to parents, and that's what they talk about.
Yeah.
Man, I watched this TikTok video. I'll send it to you. I'm like, no thanks,
Yeah.
Justin.
And yeah, part of the schools are arguing that young kids, their brains are still developing,
Yeah.
are no match for like the addictiveness of these
Well,
apps as well.
This is, and not that this has any connection whatsoever, but a 6-year-old in Virginia brought a gun into the school and shot their teacher. A 6-year-old.
Yeah.
That's unprecedented that we've had a young
Yeah.
kid, first grader. And then my first thought is, what's that video game where you just go around shooting people?
Which one?
Good point.
Yeah. Call of Duty or something.
No, it's just like a street thug.
Grand Theft Auto.
Yeah, Grand
Yeah.
Theft Auto. That was my first thought.
Yeah.
We have young kids playing Grand Theft Auto where the goals are to go around and shoot people, beat people up, and do drug deals.
Yeah.
Well, you have a beef with someone, what do you do?
Yeah.
That's, as Justin says, their brains aren't developed enough to understand the real life consequences, but that's what they learn playing a video game. So therefore, in this whole enchilada of conversation, video games lead to violence, lead to inappropriate decisions, bam.
Right.
And again, none of that's founded or anything like that. It's just my train of thought was like, man, where did a 6-year-old learn to go get a gun to solve a problem?
Yeah.
Somewhere.
Yeah.
Maybe parents, maybe social media, maybe video games. I don't know. But, it's not like the 6-year-old thought of it on her own and said, hey,
Yeah.
high level thinking going on here. What can I
Right.
do to solve this problem? Oh, yeah. Just out of nowhere. No.
Right.
That's come from somewhere.
Right.
That's
Well,
how
there-
6-year-olds work.
There's some things that need repaired, which is a good segue to the next story, right, Joe?
Yeah, repair some John Deere stuff. Let's
Yes.
go, Joe. This is very appropriate for our region.
Yes. So John Deere will let U.S. farmers repair their own equipment. Finally.
Yeah,
After how many years?
It's been several.
Yeah.
forever. I
So,
think.
so this, and I'll explain the correlation between this and why I'm excited about it. So Deere and Company has signed a memorandum of understanding with the American Farm Bureau Federation that lets U.S. farmers and independent repair shops fix equipment rather than acquiring the use of authorized parts and service centers. Users will have access to official diagnostics manuals, tools, and training. Deere will let owners disable electronic locks, but won't bar people from legally obtaining repair resources, even if the company no longer offers them. Won't bar people from legally obtaining repair resources. The agreement includes some protections for the equipment maker. John Deere won't be required to divulge trade secrets or to allow repairs that might disable emissions controls, remove safety features, or modify power levels. Unsurprisingly, fixes also can't violate the law. The memorandum is effective as of January 8th, although John Deere didn't detail exactly how or when it would alter its practices. So here's where the technology comes involved. John Deere, how all this got started. John Deere came up with this brilliant idea that somebody was sitting in the boardroom and goes, "Hey, I got an idea," and they went, "Bloody brilliant!" They set it up where if you bought a brand new John Deere tractor, it didn't matter which model or how much you spent, whether it was, a few $100s for a lawnmower or a few $100,000 for a commercial grade tractor.
Mhm.
You couldn't fix the tractor on your own. You had to take it back to John Deere, no matter what it was. No big or small issue, you couldn't fix it yourself. You had to take it back to John Deere. And that was the agreement you agreed to when you signed that paperwork and you bought that new piece of equipment, that little agreement that nobody ever reads.
Because it would void the warranty otherwise, or?
Basically, and John Deere had it set up where you could only get those parts from them.
Yeah, I think that was right. I think if you tried to do any work to your John Deere yourself, that they voided all warranty.
And they made it difficult to get the parts for you to do it yourself.
Yeah, I'm not a big tractor person, whatever, John Deere, so I have no idea. But I've had a friend that talked about that, and they're like, "We can't work on anything."
Yeah.
I was like, "That's craziness," because Appalachian people are very resourceful, very hardy, and we like to tear stuff up and then try to fix it.
Right.
Hence the hardware stores and everything that blossoms around here.
Right.
Here we got stuff that we can help you fix what you broke.
Mhm.
Well, and here's where the correlation with technology. Apple did the exact same thing with the iPhones.
Yeah.
It's like, "Oh, you cracked your screen? Yeah, we gotta fix that." "Oh, your battery's going dead? Yeah, we have to replace that." No, and Apple went as far as, like, if you would replace it with a non-Apple battery, it would annoy you the daylights out of you, going, "Hey, this isn't an Apple battery. Hey, this isn't an Apple battery. Hey, this isn't an Apple battery."
Really?
Yeah, and it's one of those. Their claim holds water, but it's like, come on now. Now you're just being petty, because their claim was, well, you could get a bad battery and the circuitry could be bad and it could overcharge and blow up, which is true.
And there you got your fire.
Yeah. But on the flip side of that coin, if you get good quality batteries, it won't matter.
Yeah.
But that was just Apple's claim to keep you under their thumb.
Mm-hmm. And that happens a lot.
So iFixit, which we are an iFixit dealer, and a proud dealer at that, they went to Congress and said, "Look, this is wrong. These people are spending all this money on their stuff, and you're letting these manufacturers say, 'Oh, you can't do this, you can't do that without our blessing.' That's not right. If they spend these hundreds of thousands of dollars on this stuff, phones, tractors, whatever, they should be able to do as they please. If they want to take a chance of blowing something up on their own, they should have the right to do so."
Well, they do have the right to do so. It just voids the warranty.
Right. But
That I feel like this is a catch-22, like we talked about earlier. You're stepping in to tell a business what they have to do, which
Well,
I agree with it in some manner, but man, that becomes a double-edged sword. Where does it stop?
right. But again, well, it's one of those. Okay, so we're an independent repair shop.
Yep.
I tried going through Apple's hoops to be an authorized seller,
Oh, yeah.
dealer, and all that, and was told no, that I don't sell enough product
Yeah.
for them to. So it's one of those. I tried to do it right,
Yep.
and was told, "Get out of here, kid, you're bothering me."
Oh yeah.
So
I'm not saying that the companies are innocent in any manner. 'Cause
Right.
It is a dirty practice because I feel like John Deere tractors, whatever, you should be able to work on them
right.
if you have somebody qualified. But then again, they're a business.
Right. So this all stems from these. You've heard these right to repair acts and right to repair laws. That's
Yeah.
what all that falls under. Is you have the right to repair your own stuff without having to go and beg for the dealer's mercy and blessing and pay the dealer markup to repair your own stuff. If you need to go change the oil in your tractor, guess what? You should be able to go change your own oil in your tractor. You shouldn't have to load it up, drive it all the way back to the dealership, waste an entire day
Yep.
just for a simple oil change.
If it was only one day, that'd be nice.
Yeah. So, thank you to iFixit, because I know they've played a big part of this behind the scenes since all this has started. And thank you to the American Farm Bureau Federation for helping these farmers out, that give them the tools back, put the tools back in their hands.
Yeah.
You know, I could picture some sort of super advanced corn machine, gathering machine from John Deere that's like $800,000 and has some huge computer in it. You don't want somebody just kind of clinking around in it. You maybe would want something like that worked on by a certified, authorized John Deere technician or something. But like you said, the more minor stuff,
Yeah.
don't make someone waste so much time to take care of something that they're very capable, or they know someone who's very capable of fixing themselves. So.
Right. Well, it goes
That's
back.
a hard distinction, though.
Well, but it also goes back to Dave's argument he's had before. You know, the owner's manual on cars used to tell you how to basically rebuild a car yourself. Now the owner's manual tells you not to drink the battery acid.
Yeah.
It's crazy. I mean, I see both sides of this, because I agree with you, Justin. You know, you're sitting there saying, well, how hard is it to check the oil? Well, if somebody changes your oil and puts the wrong oil, and then, you know, your motor blows up, and you call John Deere and say, hey, motor blew up. And they're like, well, what kind of oil are you using?
Yeah.
That's not an issue. Man.
That's a good point.
You know, or they mess with the computer in it and shorts. I mean, it would be like me saying, don't worry, I can fix your computer, because I've seen Joe do it, and it doesn't seem that hard.
Mm-hmm.
But I know there's like electrical static stuff that you have to worry about.
Mhm.
You know, I don't know any of that stuff, but hey, I could swap out a memory card. It's just plug and play, right,
Mm-hmm.
Joe?
For the most part.
But
Yeah, right.
I'm expecting
But-
you to say
right.
no. If I have some sort of electrical charge or static, it's gonna
Yeah,
touch
static.
the wrong thing.
Right. But again, that goes back to.
So then I'm not qualified to change that out. Hence, I call Joe.
Mm-hmm.
But again, it goes back to where does the user accountability come into play? Because it's no different than somebody buying a laptop off me, going home and dropping a bottle of water on it, then coming back, hey, this thing blew off my arms. Well, yeah, look at the water's pouring out.
Yeah,
of
yeah.
it.
Well, I mean, but that's hard to do across the board.
Right.
You know, then you gotta spend a lot. The manufacturer has to spend a lot of money, time, and effort to check all that.
Right.
And that becomes hard because you get knuckleheads out there. What I remember, computers used to have that little plastic seal, and if you broke the seal, you void the warranty.
Yeah.
I mean, that's hard to have on everything.
Right.
So then you gotta validate it. And when you're talking about these John Deere tractors, some of them are $100,000 or more.
Right.
That's that can be trying when you're talking about $30,000 computer part or
Right.
whatever. I don't know.
But my logic is, if I have the money to spend $100,000 plus on a tractor, I should be able to at least know what my limitations are as far as me repairing it myself.
I don't know about
Because I'm not some bonehead that just came into a
Have
pile.
you not seen the movie Days of Thunder?
No.
They plot Tom Cruise in there as a driver, and he doesn't know crap about setting up cars. He can just drive. It's like you've seen Talladega Nights, right?
I've seen bits and pieces of it.
I want to go fast. He doesn't know how to work on his car. He just drives it.
Yeah. But do they expect him to fix it though?
No, that's
Well,
my
there you
point.
go.
Yeah, that's my point. He has a person they pay to fix it.
Right.
Take it back to John Deere and pay them to fix it.
But he knows his limitations. He knows he can't fix it, so he doesn't try to fix it. Is where I'm
going
saying.
through bloody brilliant. we can trust everybody to know their limitations. No. No. That's why there's car accidents every day, and that's why it says don't drink the battery fluid in the manual. I mean, come on. I mean, here you go. Tod Pod challenge. I mean, really? I don't even know if that was real, but
Oh yeah, it was definitely real.
okay. Well, there you go, Joe. People do not know limitations of any
Well-
sort. They don't have common sense. They don't use any logic in their thinking.
Well, that's because we've prevented natural selection from doing its thing. And I blame two things: seatbelts and batting helmets.
Yeah. Hockey face shields. What are we doing here? Yeah. Okay. So anyway,
Okay.
I'm not even sure where this story was going. Is this good for people or bad for people?
This is good
I
for
don't
people.
know. Okay.
This is good for people.
So people can work on their own John Deere stuff.
Yes.
All right, good.
Now that they've spent all this money on a tractor, they have the right now to fix something if they know they can fix it themselves without having to waste an entire day, at least a day to
Oh yeah.
tote it back
Well,
to the dealership.
you know, and it's little stuff. I agree with the part of, hey, this is what's wrong, and I'm going to bolt this part of the computer and take it into the dealership. Yeah, hey, if you can do that, you should be able to.
Right.
Well, some of the right to repair folks are skeptical. They said basically this just amounts to a statement made by John Deere. There's no like enforcement to it, no promise or anything. It's kind of just a piece of paper. As of right now,
Yeah.
it's a piece of
Well-
paper that says, yeah, we kind of agree with you. You should be able to fix some stuff, but there's no specifics or anything in it.
Well, that's what I mean. Now they're going to invest a lot of time, effort, and money to determine what can be fixed by the average knucklehead.
Right.
And John Deere's fear, they claim that if they like divulge the information out to independent repair shops of how you fix a computer system, then people can steal their computer system technologies and ideas. And in theory, that's what they're afraid of is
But don't they have copyrights and patents on all that technology anyway, so if it's stolen that they can sue the pants off of them?
unless it's in China or something maybe.
Yeah.
But all that stuff's made in China anyway, so what's the
Yeah.
chance?
Is John Deere?
Well, I'm sure like some of the programmer coding. So
I bet you're right.
so what's the chance of that being stolen anyway?
Huh.
See this is my problem is the companies use those use that same speech no matter which company you go with, and that's what they always fall back on, and everybody goes, oh well, yeah, it makes sense, and I'm sitting there going, I'm bunk. There are they act like there's no statutes or laws in place that if I steal their source code and put it in an old like New Holland tractor and try to run John Deere software on it, that
Okay.
they're not going to bust me on it.
So John Deere,
Mm-hmm.
some of them are made in America and Germany.
Okay.
Some of them are made in China, with about 50% of the components imported from John Deere Company in the U.S. and then assembled in China. Huh. Interesting. Okay. And John Deere has 7 manufacturing locations in China. But it says all of which primarily serve the China market.
Hmm.
And then the engines are produced in different factories: France, Mexico, USA, India, and Argentina. Jeez. So interesting stuff. I kind of agree with you, Joe, that they're already expanded out there. So,
Yeah.
what's going to get stolen at this point?
Could
when
just
they're
be
in 7 different
An
countries
excuse
right
they're
now?
using.
Yeah.
Yeah. They have one factory in Russia.
Who knew?
Yeah. Mahindra is the largest tractor manufacturer in the world right now. And Yanmar builds the engines for the John Deere compact utility tractors. And they had an agreement with Yanmar that dates back to 1970.
Wow.
Yeah, who'd have thought that? It says Yanmar trailblazed the small diesel engine industry in 1933.
Wow.
John Deere's largest factory, though, is a complex of 4 buildings in Malone, Illinois. That's good. Okay, that's our John Deere update for the day.
Yeah.
We know more than we did 10 minutes ago.
But see, see how I correlated the technology. I told you I'd make it work.
Yeah, hey, you're good at it, Joe. You've got 128 shows under your belt right now. You better be good at it.
Yeah.
We're going to get you a batting helmet. Wear it to the next show.
Yeah.
Anyway, all right, well, what's your tip of the week, Joe?
All right. So today we're going to talk about how to protect your new device. So this is going to be under discussion last week, but LastPass blew that out of the water. So a lot of people over the holidays got new phones, new tablets, and we're going to talk about how to protect those things and make those things last longer.
Don't throw them in the water.
Well, okay, that's a bonus tip. So the first tip is get a quality case and a screen protector.
Oh yeah.
Because a lot of people, well, I don't like to put a case on because it hides how good it looks. Listen, I've never seen anybody go, "Oh, that phone looks nice." No, at this point, nobody cares.
Yeah.
And don't go buy the cheap $1, $2 case because it looks nice. Yeah, it looks nice, but it won't protect you any more than having no case at all. So if you want your device to last, get a good case and at least get a screen protector. There are all kinds of the glass, the tempered glass screen protectors. Those are amazing.
Yeah. I go through those like crazy, like one every 6 months.
Well, I have this like bad habit of I'll put one on and like I'll go through like 3 within a week, and then I'm good for like a year.
3 within a week?
Yeah, and then like by the time I get that third one, I'm like good for a whole year. I don't know what it is. Like I'll get it and I'll drop it and I'll crack it, and then it's like once I get those 3, I'm like I'm good for a year, and then it just runs into it's a weird trend. It's like I won't use one forever, and then all of a sudden I'll go through within 3 in no time. Then I'm good for a while. Because even if you got this phone quote unquote free through your carrier, go look at the retail price, because if you drop that and you have to replace that, you're paying full retail on that.
Yeah.
And I've had that discussion with people before. Oh, it was free. Go buy it. Go drop that. Go replace that. Tell me if it's still free again. Go buy a new screen. A new screen, depending on the model, even if it's the latest generation, is going to be at least $200.
Yeah.
And that's without insurance or any of that.
Mm-hmm.
So please get a good quality case and a screen protector.
Yeah, I can attest to a quality case. I mean, I've dropped mine multiple times and it's good as new. But I know I've had phones in the past with a lesser case that.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I distinctly remember I had a case on mine and I took it off for some reason. Like it broke a little bit and I was waiting on my new one to come.
Yeah.
And I was up at the track and at a track meet. And I pulled my phone out, did whatever, started to slip to drop it, and then I hit it farther away from me. And then I went to kick at it to try to just catch it as it was going to the ground.
Yeah.
And all I did was kick it another 5 feet and higher. And so it took an arc, and then when it hit right on the corner.
Oh.
And I was like, oh man, if I had just let it fall the first time, I'd have probably been okay.
Yeah, you did. Where they was trying to prevent it from breaking.
trying to catch it and then kicked it, and I was like, oh. But it's just instinct, you try to throw your foot out like in soccer and try to catch it.
Right.
That didn't work.
Well, I had a customer one time. They stopped by to pick their computers up, and they had their phone. They didn't have it in the case. I said, get a case for that. I don't need a case. I don't plan on dropping it. I said, nobody plans on dropping it.
Yeah.
6 months later, I'm in Marietta, and I get this call. Hey, I need to replace the screen on my phone. I said, what happened? I said, he said, I didn't drop it. He said, my granddaughter had my phone. We was in Walmart. She was sitting in the buggy watching videos, and she dropped it. I said, I don't care who dropped it. Didn't I tell you? I don't care. I just need it fixed.
Yeah. Oh, yeah.
So if you don't want to end up being on Story Time with Joe,
if you don't want to be involved with Tip of the Week, listen to Joe.
Yeah. The next tip is how to keep your phone clean and germ free.
Oh boy.
Yeah.
Sploosh.
Yeah. Whoosh.
Whoosh.
Yes, we're an authorized dealer for Whoosh.
I use it and I love it.
And we sell that. It cleans, disinfects, is fingerprint resistant, and alcohol free. And this is where yeah, it's a free promo for Whoosh, but that's not the only reason. The main reason why I tell you how to properly clean your phone is a lot of people, especially when COVID started, was getting out alcohol wipes and putting those on the screen.
Yeah.
And alcohol pads are the absolute worst thing you can use on a phone or tablet screen, because that alcohol can deteriorate your screen over time and decrease the effectiveness of the touch screen.
Yeah.
And a lot of people don't realize that.
Yeah.
They think, oh, alcohol's
Alcohol's
good.
pretty harsh.
Yeah. They think, well, alcohol's good for everything. Well, not necessarily.
Yeah.
So get a good quality screen cleaner. that if you're worried about fingerprints or germs, we sell a product called Whoosh, and it's a phenomenal product.
And I can attest to this. It does a great job.
Is it UV or what?
No, it's just a spray.
It's a little spray, and then it
okay.
comes with a little cloth. You just wipe your stuff down. I really like it.
Yeah, it creates like a small fingerprint resistant film on the screen.
Yeah.
And it's alcohol free. It's alcohol and ammonia free.
Holding out on me.
True. I've had mine for a while. I don't know, a couple of years probably. They last forever.
Yeah.
Just a big old bottle of Whoosh.
Yeah.
I got a little one.
Little one?
Oh yeah, well we sell it in the big value size too.
Yeah, I went through a small bottle, and I think I'm on my second one. I'm probably almost out. But
I'll hook you up next week, Justin.
All right.
Let you try it.
promises,
Okay.
Here we go.
promises.
I'll let you.
Yeah.
Here, I'll let
You
you,
get the
try
spray,
it
you
out.
don't get the
and then-
cough.
Yeah.
This is the old bait and switch
Yeah.
trick. It'll bring you something, but it doesn't come with a power cord.
Yeah, because I got Dave hooked on. I want you to try it, and then I want you to do a review on it.
All right.
Yeah.
So the next tip: get extra charging cables because you're going to need them.
Yeah, gosh.
You can never
Been
have
down that road.
Yeah, you can never have too many charging cables in your car, at home, at the office.
The ones in the car take a lot of abuse, and I'll attest to this, just the pulling and, somebody, oh, let me borrow you, and they jerk it around, and not
Right.
on purpose, but they take a lot of beatings,
Yeah.
and then next thing you know, you're on a road trip, and you don't have a cord, and you gotta stop at a gas station and buy one for more than what it
$20.
costs if you got it ahead of time.
Yeah, you pay more and it's lesser quality.
Yeah, and you go that amount of time without having one, you're like, crap.
Right.
So yeah, you never know when they're gonna go bad, but that's a huge one. I take advantage of that. I have power cords everywhere.
Well, they get abused in the car and they get lost at home.
Or somebody borrows them, you don't get them back.
Right. This is probably my most important tip out of all these. Make sure you have some type of Find My Device software or service activated on your phone. iPhone has Find My iPhone. Make sure that's turned on. Android has their version. You use those if you want to go a step further.
How's that work?
It's usually turned on by default, but double check, make sure. That's where if your phone gets lost or stolen, you can log into your account and go Find My Device, and it'll track it down with GPS.
In what account?
So
Your
Samsung
Google account, yeah,
account? Find My Mobile?
yeah.
I don't even know how to sign into that, but
That's what I was gonna say. I don't know, Joe. You're gonna have to tell me more about this. Tell me more, Joe.
Okay, so
All right. So where do I go? Settings, I assume, right?
okay, so you
Settings.
like on I just logged into my Google account and I went to I just Google searched Find My Android, and you can go to google.com/android/find. And like right now it says my Pixel 7, it's contacting it, trying to track it down, and I can play a sound like if I've lost it in the house, or
All right. It's Find My Mobile on my Samsung. Mine is on. Okay. My Samsung account. Okay. So I have to go to my Samsung account.
yeah. Now since I have a Pixel, it's just linked with my Google account, and I'd say it's probably all linked with your guys' Google accounts as well. So right now it says that according on the Google website, it says your device is seen just now, and it says which Wi-Fi network it's connected to, and it tells you how much battery life.
And you're standing right beside it.
Yeah, well, I've done it before from the phone, and I'll click Find My Device, and it goes, it's in your hand.
No way.
Yeah.
Awesome.
So from here, I can play a sound, I can secure it, I can lock it down and sign out of all my Google accounts, or I can actually tell it to completely erase the device.
Gotcha.
Now, there's also third-party apps, one that I've used for years. And Dave, I don't even remember if you remember us talking about this program or not, but it was called Prey Project, P-R-E-Y Project.
Yeah.
And it does a lot of this, but it does more.
Yeah.
So if
But wait, there's more.
yeah, so if you link it with your device, if you mark it lost or stolen, it will email you. There's like free plans and paid plans, so depending on which plan you go with.
Yeah.
You can have it set up where it'll email you automatically, like every 5 to 10 minutes with location. It'll take a picture with both the front and rear cameras.
Ooh.
Yeah, and
It sounds like a glitter bomb guy's deal.
yes, it'll send you an email every 5 to 10 minutes as long as it's turned on and connected to some kind of internet, and send you updated information where it's located, all the Wi-Fi networks that are nearby to help you get a better geolocation, pictures with both the front and rear camera, so if somebody's looking at it, you get a perfect picture of what they look like. That's the person that's possibly carrying around your phone.
wow.
and you can actually and you can also do the erase feature where you can completely erase all the information off your phone.
So I pulled up YouTube real quick just to look back again,
Uh-huh.
and the glitter bomb guy.
Yeah.
And guess what ad came up?
Oh, we've talked about so much.
Phone cases?
Nope.
John Deere.
Tractor ad. Yep.
Oh, that's awesome.
John Deere or just
No, just a general
another
ad.
tractor?
Yeah.
yeah. Tractor. It's listening.
It is listening.
That's me trying to find
Found
my
your
phone.
phone.
Yeah, cool. Good tip, Joe.
Thank you. Yeah, like I said, that's not my last tip, but that's probably my most important because I see this a lot. People say, "I lost my phone." It's like, why don't you have these services turned on? I mean, it's built into your phone to track it down.
Yeah, I wouldn't have known to go to my Samsung account.
So like I said, that's not the last one, but that's the most important one. So down to my last one. Check your warranty and or insurance policy on your device. See what you're covered and what you're not covered for. This is where a lot of people think, they buy a device and they think they're covered for slips, trips, falls, breaks, throws, soccer kicks, whatever, and they may or may not be. So by default, if you buy a new device, it typically comes with at least a 1-year warranty, 1-year standard warranty. And standard meaning if there's any issue with the device that is caused by a hardware malfunction, a bad software update, something that a defect from manufacturing. Typically they do not cover drops, kicks, throws, abuse, drops, spills, anything like that. But you can get either additional coverage or insurance policies that will cover those as well. So if you don't have those, especially if you're giving them to kids, because it's more of a win, not if situation.
Mm-hmm. For sure.
Yeah. Look into those and make sure you know what you're covered for and what you're not covered for. And some of them even have little gotchas where if you buy the device today and you have the insurance policy today, sometimes you have to wait up to 30 days before you can even file a claim. So make sure you know exactly what you're covered and when.
I like it.
So that's this week's tip of the week.
Yeah, and I'm a big believer in protecting your phone because, as hard as it is for kids to stay off of them, as adults, we have to have them.
Right.
This is the bottom line. With my phone, I can email, call, text, and check on everybody I need to.
Right.
Or people can get a hold of me if they need to, my
Right.
kids, whatever. So,
Right.
Powerful tool.
Right.
Protect it.
Yeah. Because they're not cheap.
No. They are not. Okay. All right. Well, tips of the week. If anybody needs to get a hold of you, Joe, about any of that stuff, and I would highly, highly, highly encourage you to use Whoosh. I know they make disinfectant whatever's out there, but I really like the Whoosh. I use it once a week to clean my phone and kind of go through everything. It makes it nice.
Yeah, we keep it in stock, and we use it anytime a device comes in for like a phone or tablet needs worked on. That's one of the first things it gets a Whoosh bath.
It's a clean. Yeah. Well, that's smart. I mean, it's hard to tell. Somebody could just sneezed on it or whatever, and that's a good way to clean.
Right.
Oh, it's Tuesday. Fire alarm Tuesday. Okay, well, how do I get a hold of you, Joe?
You can give us a call. Our office at 304-927-3588. Check our website at amdigitaltech.com or follow us on social media. We're on Facebook, YouTube, Twitter, and Instagram at amdigitaltech for all that. And be sure to subscribe to our podcast, Help Desk with Joe and Dave. We're on all the major platforms, and all of our episodes are hosted by Anchor.fm.
Well, since the annoying fire alarm is going off in the background, we're going to get out of here quick. But everybody have a great week, and we'll be back next week with more Help Desk with Joe.